Hello and happy holidays to everyone. As we get ready for the winter break, WTF will be off starting tomorrow and Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday. But we'll be back again on Wednesday the 28th before we break for New Year's, at which point we will return on January 3rd. I'll include another reminder like this at the top of next Wednesday's episode just in case. But until then, have a safe, happy, and healthy holiday. Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. Welcome to day 701. The Biden administration announced another new $1.85 billion military assistance package for Ukraine to counter the Russian invasion of the country. The announcement comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Washington today to meet with Biden, Zelensky's first international trip since Russia invaded his country 10 months ago. The latest security funding package includes the Patriot Air Defense Missile System, the most advanced air defense weapon system in the United States arsenal. In the Oval Office, Biden told Zelensky, quote, "We will support Ukraine pursuing a just peace," end quote, adding that Putin was trying to, quote, "use winter as a weapon," end quote, in the ongoing war. Zelensky is also scheduled to address a joint session of Congress as lawmakers work to pass a $1.7 trillion spending package, which already includes $44.9 billion in assistance for Ukraine. Putin, meanwhile, says Russia has, quote, "no limitations," end quote, on its military spending for the war in Ukraine. Moving on, the House Ways and Means Committee voted to make 6 years of Donald Trump's tax returns public. A 29-page summary report shows that Trump reported millions of dollars in earnings between 2015 and 2020, but paid little to nothing in federal income taxes. In 2016 and 2017, Trump paid a grand total of $750 in federal income taxes. Trump paid a combined $1.1 million in 2018 and 2019, and in 2020, he paid nothing. In April 2019, House Democrats formally requested 6 years of Trump's personal and business returns from the IRS so they could review the effectiveness of the presidential audit program. Meanwhile, the IRS failed to audit Trump during his first 2 years in office, despite a, quote, mandatory, end quote, program that requires annual audits of a president's tax returns. During Trump's time in office, the IRS opened one mandatory audit for his 2016 return, which did not take place until 2019 and wasn't completed until he was already out of office. The House Ways and Means Committee said the IRS presidential audit program was, quote, dormant at best, end quote, during Trump's term. The chair of the Senate Finance Committee, Ron Wyden, said the IRS was, quote, asleep at the wheel, end quote. Moving on, a former White House aide to Donald Trump told the January 6th committee that he witnessed Trump tearing documents. According to audio from Nick Luna's deposition, Trump would sometimes tear up notes when he was finished reading them.
Do you know whether the president ever tore up notes when he was finished with them?
Yes.
Okay, and just to be clear, did the president tear up notes when he was finished with them?
I don't know what the documents were, but there were tearing.
But you are aware that at least sometimes the president would tear up notes or piece of paper when he was done with them. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Luna's testimony follows previous reports that Trump ripped up documents and tried to flush them down the White House toilet. Federal law requires that presidential records are preserved and handed over to the National Archives. Luna also testified that Mark Meadows instructed him not to enter the room during a meeting with state Republican legislators who wanted to overturn the 2020 presidential election. And finally, the January 6th committee says it has evidence that the top ethics attorney in the Trump White House advised Cassidy Hutchinson to give misleading testimony to the committee. Stefan Passantino, who represented Hutchinson, allegedly urged the former White House aide to pretend to not recall details and to refrain from talking about issues that could cast Trump in a negative light. The committee also said someone had promised Hutchinson a job, which disappeared after she cooperated with the committee. Before her public testimony, Hutchinson replaced Passantino as her lawyer, who was also being paid at the time by Trump's Save America PAC. On Tuesday, Passantino took a leave of absence from his law firm. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.